start whenever you're ready, Tom.
Okay. Thank you for coming today to make sure that our recording and our live audience get included in everything. I will tell a joke first. And beginning April 1st, I will tell a joke every day of the month on the Touchdown television. So we've pre-recorded 30 jokes for that. Bear with me. There was one joke told at a recent flute concert. Were any of you at the flute concert and remember the joke told at that? Okay. Everybody's looking kind of blank, so I'll tell the joke. Two male flutes were walking down the street, and one said to the other, "Who was that flute I saw you with?" And he said, "That was no flute, that was my fife." And one of my favorites, given to me by Paul Thompson the other day, was, what do you call a nose without a body? Nobody knows. Which reminds me of the third and last joke of the day. What did one eye say to the other? Between us, something smells. Welcome today. As you are aware from two memos you received recently, we have had an access event which has affected our network. And we are working feverishly on that. Most of our computers are functional. We have had to do a few workarounds in the last couple of weeks to make sure everybody could access their devices. It doesn't appear that there have been any effects on anything outside the network. So we did have the servers restored in all of our communities, and here we only have a few computers that have been infected. Mostly they were infected because they were left on. All that were turned off were not affected. So we had a few at the care center and a few over at Tide Point where the person had not shut down the computer at the end of the day. So we're getting closer on that, and we'll keep you posted if there's any further concern. Any questions about that? Okay. Second, also of concern is how is our search going for a new executive chef? And we've had 12 resumes submitted so far, and I've interviewed 6. I have about 3 more interviews, and then we're going to narrow it down to 3, and then they will go through the employment process, which will take somewhere between 30 and 45 days. So we have some really excellent candidates with great experience. And in the meantime, we have some of our best chefs from V who have been here getting everything organized and in a predictable pattern. So, any questions about that?
Not a question, but I heard there was not going to be someone within the V community. It's going to be
A new chef from outside. So far, that is the case. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Who's doing the interviewing besides you? Anyone else?
The Vice President of Food and Beverage, and of course Human Resources, and also Kevin Meredith. So there'll be 4, because Kevin's got to work with the person. So I'm really encouraged. We got some guys with some great background, and we look forward to moving that forward as soon as possible. Also, there is a search for a new executive director as I'm retiring, and we have had 25 resumes on that, and they're narrowing it down to 6 this week. And that one will probably take a couple of months, hopefully. Yes,
I hope
sir.
you hire a southern chef that knows how to cook green beans.
Well,
Hammock.
we have some excellent team members that have been cooking it since they were born. So, you know, green beans is one of those indicators. Half people like them blanched and barely cooked. Other people like them cooked a week in ham.
Start at 9 in the morning and cook until
So
sunset.
there's real extremes in green beans. You know, are they too hard? Are they too soft? Are they too salty? Are they not salty enough? Are the ends broken off, etc.? So we could do, you know, we could do an excellent contest on green beans.
Yes.
Are you doing an in-person interview with these respective people, or are you doing a FaceTime type thing?
Both.
Both?
I've done 3 in-person interviews. I have 2 more to go. And then I've done about 4 FaceTime. So we're doing both.
And the chef that's coming from Chicago, is he here now, and how long will he be?
Yes, Jose Luna is here. He'll be here through April 2nd. And then Greg Strickland, who was here before him for 10 days, will be back.
The one from Colorado?
Right.
Is he
Mhm.
back?
Yeah.
He'll be
2.
here for 10 days?
He'll be here. He was here 10 days, the first 10 days.
More permanently?
Then Jose was here. He'll be here the second 10 days. And then, if need be, we'll have Greg come back again.
Oh, so we
Yeah.
might get a,
And they've been giving Anthony, who is the sous chef, some great help as well. So it's some training that he needed, and they've been giving him that, and also doing some staff training as well. So that should go pretty well. Okay. We have a combined trip coming up Monday, April 17th, which is the Monday after Heritage, to Boone Hall Plantation and Brook Green Gardens. If you haven't been to Brook Green Gardens, it is absolutely beautiful. It's a world treasure of large exterior sculptures. It's beautiful. And it is up toward Edisto, or Murrells Inlet is, I guess, the actual address. Beautiful grounds and really spectacular sculpture artwork. And you've probably seen this on the Touchtown or posted in your hallways. Great trip. It's an overnighter. And we are sharing that with Cyprus. So you'll also meet some new friends as well. Okay.
Could you repeat the name of it? I'm not familiar.
It's called the Spring Garden Tour. Boone Hall and Boone Hall Plantation and Brook Green Gardens.
Thank you.
So should be a lot of fun. And I love you can tell I like the Brook Green Gardens. It's one of my favorite places to go. Okay. We have 11 sales for the year to date, and we have only 1 villa for sale. No cottages, no verandas for sale. And we have a Discover Tide Point coming up on the 4th of April, and we already have full house or 70 visitors for that. Unfortunately, we won't be touring because there's no available units to show except one, which will probably be sold in the next day or so. Our refurbishment, the villa lobby furniture, will be arriving on April 17th, and they'll be installing that the week of the 17th. And then we should be beginning visible activity on the clubhouse that same week toward the end of the week. The painting, the carpet is already here for all the areas. The painting will begin in earnest, as well as replacement, etc. Some of the things that will happen toward the later part of the refurbishment will be the replacement and removal of columns. We're replacing the large Georgian columns that are in the center of the rotunda with some less grand, traditional square plantation pillars, and then removing the ones around the side, which will give you a lot more room. We're opening up the bar and then remodeling the clubhouse bar. Those will be the kind of the last things to take place. The first thing to take place is we're going to do the card room and the library, and then move counterclockwise through the clubhouse. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll be doing some dining here in the ballroom when we close down the casual, and then do it again in the formal. So that'll be fun. It's nothing we hadn't done before. We did it about 12 years ago. People didn't want to leave the ballroom after they were in here for a while. So, and then the ballroom will be the last, the ballroom in the center of the clubhouse. So, pretty exciting times getting ready to start there. Really looking forward to the controversy of the new furniture in the villas. It should be, it should be very amusing to all of us. Some you will love and some you will not. Okay? We have, I'm going to have my retirement art show here beginning on, I think it's April 2nd, starting that Monday. It'll be hung up for a month or until they remove me. And so that'll be fun. I've been doing 2 shows a year for the last 12 years in Charleston, North Carolina Mountains, Asheville, and Blowing Rock, and also in Charlotte, and one every 2 years here. I try not to go to the same city every year and just do every 2 years in the same city. So I've had a lot of fun that, and so this will be a show, not a sale, but a show of work that I've been working on for the last 50 years. So hope you'll enjoy that. You'll have, I guess, 3 weeks to a month to take a look at it, and I will enjoy it as well. Believe it or not, I did the same thing at the Cypress about 25 years ago and showed them some work that I had at that point the week I was leaving. So I'm trying to move that along a little bit. Okay. Are there any questions about anything else? Yes, sir. Mr. Postilnik.
How's the Zoysia grass replacement coming along?
The grass replacement.
Yes.
Okay. We are doing it a truckload at a time. A truckload is about $18,000. And so we started at Spruce Court. That was deemed to be the worst at the time. And so we'll continue that for the next several years. So what the landscape committee does is designate what is the worst for that amount of pallets. We'll do that, and then we'll consider the next one. We do have a landscape budget in the capital budget of about $60,000 a year, and then we've agreed to do more for the replacement of sod as well. So that has been happening and will continue. Okay, any other questions? Anything you'd like to talk about? 15 minutes. Well, I thank you for coming, and I'll spare you any new jokes. And they will be available on Touchtown throughout the day for the entire month of April. So I thank you for coming. And I thank those at home for listening in. And I'll see you around the campus. Thank you.